So when I say dangers of AI, what pops into your head? Probably something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Killer robots, that kind of thing. But what if I told you the biggest threats, they're not some far-off future problem. They're happening right now, kind of hidden in plain sight.
I mean, check this out. An actual AI researcher, Sasha Lucioni, got this message from a total stranger. Your work in AI is going to end humanity. Wow, that really says it all, doesn't it? It shows how obsessed we are with these doomsday scenarios. But while all the headlines are screaming about superintelligence and the end of the world, there's a much more immediate, much more real story that we really need to talk about.
Okay, so let's try to shift our focus a little bit. Forget the hypotheticals, forget the killer robots for a minute. We're going to dive into 3 current, tangible impacts of AI. We're talking about its massive environmental footprint, the whole mess with copyright and using creative work without permission, and, a really big one, how it can actually make societal discrimination worse. These are the problems we can tackle today.
All right, first up, the hidden environmental cost of AI. You know, we always hear about the cloud, and it sounds so light and fluffy, right? But that cloud, it's made of very real, very physical data centers that suck up huge amounts of energy. Every single time you ask an AI a question, there's a cost, and not just in computing power, but a real cost to our planet.
So let's put a number on it. Take this one large language model called Bloom. Just training this single AI model, it pumped out 25 tons of carbon dioxide. Now, 25 tons, it sounds like a lot, but it's just a number, right? What does that actually mean in the real world?
Well, it's like getting in your car and driving around the entire planet 5 times. Think about that. All that pollution just so one AI model can learn how to, I don't know, write a poem or a knock-knock joke. And here's the crazy part. Bloom was actually designed to be one of the good guys, with ethics and transparency built in. A lot of the other models out there, they're way, way worse.
And this is where the trend gets a little scary. Right now in the AI world, the mantra is just bigger is better. But check this out. The research shows that for the exact same task, if you switch from a smaller, more efficient model to one of these giant new ones, you can jack up the carbon emissions by 14 times. 14! As AI gets baked into everything we do, these costs are just going to skyrocket.
So, what do we do about it? Are we just stuck? Well, no. This is where cool tools like Code Carbon come into play. It's basically a little program that runs in the background and measures the energy and carbon cost of training an AI. And that transparency, it's a game changer. It means developers can actually make smart choices, like maybe picking a more sustainable model or running their training when the power grid is using renewables. That alone can slash emissions.
Okay, let's switch gears to our second big topic, this whole mess around data and copyright. You see, a lot of these giant AI models were trained by basically scraping the entire internet. We're talking art, books, photos, you name it, and usually without the creators ever knowing or giving permission. It's kind of like a great data heist.
And this has left a ton of artists and writers asking themselves, hey, have my images, my words, been used to train an AI? It's a simple question, but it's been almost impossible to prove. And if you want to take legal action, you can't just have a hunch. You need cold, hard evidence. So, somebody created a tool to help find it.
So the same researcher from before, Sasha Lucioni, she used this tool, it's called Have I Been Trained, and she searched her own name. And what she found was pretty wild. Yeah, there were a couple of photos of her from conferences and stuff, but there were also a ton of images of bikini models. So what's the big deal? Well, it means the AI now associates the name Sasha with scantily clad women. That bias is now baked right into the system.
And look, this isn't just some weird, quirky finding. For professional artists like Carlo Ortiz, this tool was everything. It gave them the actual proof they needed, showing that their life's work had been hoovered up without consent to file a massive class action lawsuit against AI companies for copyright infringement. It's all about giving power back to the creators.
So you can see a clear path forward here, right? Step 1, use these tools to prove that your work was used without permission. Step 2, that empowers artists and authors to take real legal action. And what does that do? It puts pressure on the whole industry to finally create better systems with clear ways to opt in or opt out. Because, let's be honest, human creativity shouldn't be a free all-you-can-eat buffet for tech companies. All right, for our last section, let's talk about bias. This one's a biggie. AI models learn from data created by humans, right? And that data, well, it's got all of our stuff in it. All our patterns, our beliefs, and yep, all our stereotypes, racism, and sexism. The scary thing is the AI doesn't just learn these biases, it can actually amplify them, and the consequences can be dangerous.
And I want to be really clear, this is not some abstract, theoretical problem. This affects real people. Take Dr. Joy Buolamwini, a trailblazer in this field. She discovered that a bunch of facial recognition systems literally could not see her face, her dark-skinned face, unless she put on a white mask. And when these flawed systems get into the hands of law enforcement, you get stories like Portia Woodruff, who was falsely accused of carjacking while she was 8 months pregnant, all because of a bad AI match. The human cost here is just immense.
Okay, let's try a little thought experiment right now. Just for a second, close your eyes and picture a scientist. What do you see? Go on, really picture it. I'm willing to bet you probably saw a guy in a lab coat, right? Well, AI models have the exact same problem, but like on steroids.
Just look at these numbers. If you ask an AI to generate an image of a CEO, it will give you a picture of a man 99% of the time. 99%! But in the real world, about 30% of CEOs are women. The AI isn't just reflecting reality. It's taking our existing biases and cranking them up to 11, creating this super distorted version of the world.
So to fight this, researchers built something called the Stable Bias Explorer. And what's so great about this tool is that you don't have to be a coder or a data scientist to use it. It lets anyone, lawmakers, journalists, you, me, go in and see these biases for themselves. It makes the invisible stuff visible, and that's always the first step to actually fixing something.
So, wow. After hearing all that, it might feel a little bit overwhelming. I get it. But here's the most important thing to take away from all this. AI's future is not written in stone. It's not a done deal. We are literally building the road as we walk on it, which means we have the power to steer this thing in a much, much better direction.
And listen, this isn't just a problem for the big tech companies to solve. Everybody has a role to play here. Companies, they can use this kind of data to choose models that are more sustainable and that actually respect people's work. Lawmakers, they can use these tools to write smarter, more effective regulations. And us, as users, we can vote with our feet and choose to support the AI models that we can actually trust.
And that really brings us full circle, back to the beginning. Pouring all our anxiety and energy into some potential robot apocalypse, it's actually a pretty convenient distraction. It distracts from the very real harm that AI is causing right now, to our planet, to our creative economy, and to our communities. The work to fix these problems, it has to happen today, not in some sci-fi future.
Look, AI is moving at a breakneck speed, and we are figuring this out as we go. That means we have the agency, right now, to decide which way this road is going to go. So the real question isn't whether AI is going to destroy us someday. The real question is, how are we going to decide to build it together starting right now?